He's back in 11 on 11s. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com, and training camp continues to roll on, and it was eventful today because, well, we did hear from Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow for the first time in training camp. Not only did he speak, he took part throughout practice, including an 11 on 11 drills. So we'll get to all of that and more. Just a quick reminder that this training camp report brought to you by Rivertown Inquiry, rivertowninquiry.com. Doug and his team do a great job. If you're looking for high quality gear, he's got you covered at rivertowninquiry.com, including the Joe Goodberry Bengals on the Brain hat, which I know a lot of you asked about after the premiere. A quick reminder, Elise Jesse with the OT with Elise Jesse on Thursday at 8 o'clock. She's got a former Bengals first-round pick that's going to join her on show number 1. But let's dive in today's practice where a lot went on. All right, and let's start with Joe Burrow. He confirmed before practice, and we put the entire video up here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk if you missed it. During the news conference, he did have a ruptured it ruptured. His appendix ruptured. I forgot the word. I was like, what is the word? His appendix ruptured. And so that's why it was as serious as it was, which a lot of people had speculated about. I know people were DMing me about it. And look, that's why he was out for 2 weeks without throwing. He said he started throwing at the 2-week mark, and the 2.5-week mark, Sunday, is when he resumed practice. So certainly on target, to start week 1. I don't think that's an issue. He did discuss the weight loss, acknowledge that, said he's eating everything he can to put that weight back on. Here's what I know, though, and now it's 3 practices, 1 with 11 on 11s. He's looked really good. I mean, really accurate. He talked about his velocity not being where he wanted it to be. But I think Joe did all of that work in the offseason, and he said he was feeling as great as he had felt going into a season before he had that appendectomy. And what I think happened is he did all that training. He was feeling that good that now, even after that, he's still playing at such a high level. He connected with Jamar Chase on a deep ball in 11s, not 7 on 7s. 11 on 11s today. Connected deep downfield to Jamar Chase a second time late in practice. Hit T. Higgins deep downfield. Tyler Boyd on a deep post. So he was pushing the ball down the field. Didn't really notice anything that would be concerning in any way. So that's good. It's also good that he does plan to take part in 11 on 11s tomorrow and next week in the joint practices against the Rams. But you shouldn't expect to see him this preseason. Doesn't sound like that's going to happen, which means you got to keep it locked right here because we're going to have practice highlights, including all of the plays I just described. Also, Mike Thomas had a few nice catches today with the second team, so we'll have that for you as well. But got to get to the offensive line now because the left guard competition. If Joe Burrow's back there, if Nine's back there, who's playing left guard? And it was a mixture. And Cordell Volson got the first set of reps today with the first team. Jackson Carman was worked in. I would say it was about 2-1 as far as reps go. So probably 10 for Volson-ish, maybe 12 for Volson, and 4 to 6 in that range, 2-1 type range for Jackson Carman. But they both got reps, and I thought Volson looked really good. I did. I thought he looked powerful in the run game. There's one where a run behind him on the left side, and he takes out DJ Reader and seals Reader. Jonah does a good job of sealing Trey Hendrickson. Volson takes care of Reader and opens up the hole for Joe Mixon. And when you combine that with what he's done as a pass protector and in pass protection, I think that there is a shot here for Cordell Volson to be this team's starting left guard. Jackson Carman still firmly in the mix, I think. It's at least that's what the coaches say. I think Volson has a clear lead at this point. Is it over? No. Because I think Carman, they gave him every chance throughout camp early and then last Friday against Arizona, and he had a chance to really put a bow on this thing. And instead, he opened that package up and said, all right, Volson, you have a shot now. And that door is wide open. And so far, Cordell Volson has taken advantage of it. Speaking of Volson, he's going to chat with me one-on-one right here on this channel. I spoke with him a couple hours ago. I think we're going to show you that on Thursday. Maybe a little earlier, but probably Thursday. So stay tuned for that. That's why you come to Cincinnati Bengals Talk, one-on-ones and everything in between. Outside of that, practice-wise, La'el Collins wasn't at practice. I know some were worried about that. Zach Taylor said it was a personal matter. Not sure if he's going to be back on Thursday. So we will monitor that because I thought today would have been a good day to get Collins back in action in 11-on-11s, and that did not happen. I know he was at the facility earlier today, but not sure when he'll be back. So we will monitor that going into Thursday. But overall, I thought the offense looked good. I did. I think that they opened up multiple running lanes for Joe Mixon. There were certainly times where Joe Burrow had the time to push the ball downfield and connect with his big three at receiver. He was, bending, moving his body on the fly, and it was fine. There was no winces, there was no pain, there was no grimaces, there was no nothing. So I think he's recovered from a pain standpoint. At least it feels that way. Now it's about getting that weight on and getting the reps, which he's certainly going to have time to do with the regular season opener 3 weeks from this Sunday. Speaking of this Sunday, we'll have you covered right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Not traveling to New York for the preseason game. Burrow and the starters aren't playing, but we will still have you covered right here on this channel with all of the latest news, info. And speaking of, Drew Sample was able to get in some rehab work on the rehab field and ice down that left knee afterwards. I think it's an MCL. It feels like it. Also, Deontay Smith returned to practice today, so a couple more injury notes. So we'll be back at it on Thursday. For Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.